Yeah, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog, and your guy KD said that offense win championships. Could he be saying that because of what Curry and what he did with the Golden State Warriors? I mean, because for the most part, that's the only thing he could be discussing. Because 9 times out of 10, defense win championships. When you think about all of the championships that were won from the beginning of NBA time, that from the very beginning, even in all sports, you know, more sports defense win championships. You know, look at the New England Patriots. They lost to the Giants. The Giants had, and this is football. I'm just cross-referencing to say that more. Shout out to the chat. I see y'all. I see Leave Diggy. I see Vosh. I see Reggie. Whatever. I'm definitely not your son. I already cooked you, man. You already know what it is, man. You had to push back on what you said. I have to push back on what I said. So you know who's, you know what I mean, sending Julia to the playground. You know what I mean? Stop it, man. You and I ain't been calling you my son. You do your thing, but I'm definitely not your son. Like you're more like, you know, you're like, I don't know, man. You was the one calling out the smoke, so you're not like a small fry, no shit like that. But again, man, you called me out, and I just think out of all of the guys that you called out for smoke, I'm one of the guys that you did not beat. Like you might have smoked a lot of the talent or vloggers that came to your page. A lot of them, like SB, you don't smoke SB. You ain't smoke Young Africa. You ain't smoke me. And like just us three, I can remember offhand, you don't smoke, you know what I'm saying? Out of that, besides that, yeah, have at it, man. I don't, you know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely don't smoke shit. Shout to, well, you don't definitely don't smoke meat. Shout to Leaf Diggy, man. That's my guy, man. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat for my guy early. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was listening to him kick it the other day. You know, and him and Big Priest, man, they was going at it, man. I mean, yo, bro, Reggie, I threw the link in the chat. So I mean, if you feel some type of way, if you feeling some type of way, you could easily hit that link. You know what I'm saying? You know how it go. I mean, at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, you see what I do, man. I cook, I fry shit. I'm about to throw this pan on the screen right now, man. I'm about to throw this frying. I'm about to throw this pan, man. Non-stick, man. Olive oil. Yo, Leaf. What's good, man?
Ain't shit, Breeze, man. Just
Yo,
was
appreciate you, man. You was holding it down. I was listening to y'all everything that I missed when I was on dad duty. I had came back and I was listening to y'all kicking you and Priest and shit. I had even clipped it. I did you see it? That short I
yeah.
made?
I seen it as soon as it popped up on the because I get all your stuff. I had to personalize all your stuff, all your stuff on your page so I could get everything. So
Oh yeah,
so
that's
I,
what's
I
up.
put
That's
the
what's up.
so I put the
Appreciate you.
all on. So but yeah what I wanted to come up to say Katie, man, fuck Kevin Durant, man. Listen, how many times I gotta say fuck Kevin Durant, bro? Like he on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Everybody know how he won his 2 chipmunk ass championships, man. And he tried to come over here and they
Mm-hmm.
tried to do something. Listen, we all know the history. There's only one be said, yo, listen. At the end of the day, Kevin Durant, bro, like is one or two things. One thing for sure, two things for certain, bro. Like Kevin Durant is gonna retire as somebody who was misguided. And what I mean by misguided is, and like he misguided his own self. He misguided because he left OKC with the impression, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just get this shit, man, however I want it. And then
Right.
when Draymond got up in your face, and then he called you by your name, and you ain't had no words for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now you decided that you wanted to be your own man, and then you found out that you couldn't do that after the Achilles situation, and then you wanted to go back on hopping on teams again. You
All
know,
right,
so
so
like
right, yeah, that's the thing. Like we seen him, he go from he won in
we
the
we we
West.
done
He
we
tried
done
to
seen
win in.
like we done seen like 5 different versions of this dude character wise, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like it's over with,
So
bro. Like we done seen it's like when Bi was out here. He was like, yo, first dudes is tough, then they get hit up, then they go to Jesus, and then something happens to them, then they tough again. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm.
it's kind of weird with KD, man. Like KD, one of them dudes, man. Like he forever he on my forever shit list, man. Wherever I go in any universe, bro, he did, bro. Like just
Yeah,
mark him down, Doodle
that's
Brown style,
Some
bro. Like for
Spider-Man
real.
shit, right?
Yeah. He forever on the shit list, bro. Like I'm not
Right.
taking him off for nothing. I don't
Next
care about your
verse.
Hall of Fame speech. I don't care about none of your speeches, bro. You, LeBron, like y'all on the shit list because y'all know what y'all did, bro. Come on, bro.
Well, yeah, nah, but peep, all right, just follow me real quick because this is kind of tough, and I'm going somewhere with it. And I'm all bringing back to the net somehow, some way. You know how we play.
Uh-huh.
Um, KD stayed with OKC for how long?
About
Eight
9 years.
years. Eight,
About 9 years. I think from '07 to about 2016. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
9 years.
Okay, in 9 seasons, he stayed there. He didn't win it. He left. Right.
Right.
Nobody was mad at him for leaving. They was mad at him because of where he went. That's we on
Right.
the same page. All right. So hold on, because it's not about him. Now, Damian Lillard. He's in what year?
Damian Lillard is in year 11 or 12. About to be in 12, I think.
11, 12. That's good enough. That's good enough to make the point that I'm trying to make. All right. So the truth, Paul Pierce, when
Uh-huh.
KG and Ray Allen came there to help him win, what year was Paul Pierce in?
He was in year 10, I believe. I was in 90. He got drafted in 98, and they won in 2008. That's 10 years.
Okay, okay. I'm going somewhere with this. Basically, what I'm saying is the guys that's supposed to be number one for their team
Right.
deciding to stay or deciding to go and what's best for their career. So Paul Pierce is in this equation because he stayed after being with that team and not winning for a long time. Everybody knew that Paul Pierce was the truth. That's how he got the nickname, right? And he stayed after not winning with the Celtics for a long time. That's why I'm asking, because I'm trying to figure out, is really Paul Pierce the truth like that? Because I think he stayed around with the Celtics for the same amount of time that Dame Lillard stayed with the Portland Trailblazers. Like he wasn't going to leave unless that whole net Celtic thing that never happened. It was just business about filling seats. But
Got you.
I'm just saying the team that drafted Paul Pierce, the Celtics. Am I correct?
Yeah.
They
Celtics. Yeah.
they they drafted him, right?
Uh-huh.
So okay, my point is that when it come down to being the number one guy and deciding to stay with the team that drafted you, that's always going to fit into how fans look at your greatness. I think the legend behind Michael Jordan winning with the Chicago Bulls is the Chicago Bulls never having a championship before he got there. He put them on a map, the championship map. And
Right.
that's a elite group to be in the
Yeah.
NBA. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
especially currently. So what I'm saying is like, you got the Utah Jazz, for example, who had Stockton and Malone and never won a championship. I believe they went to the finals twice or once or something like that.
Yeah. Twice against Jordan.
Right,
Yeah,
and
they went
I'm
twice
saying,
against Jordan.
right,
Yeah.
I'm saying that would never happen again. I don't think that there will be two stars on one team that never won a championship in the same amount of time that Stockton and Malone never won a championship. Nah, the
Nah. I
organization's
mean,
not keeping stars that long again. You see what Utah did with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
yeah, Rudy Gobert. Yeah. I understand. I think I get the premise of where you're going with it, bro. Because in terms of like the way players move around. I
The
guess
window,
nowadays,
the window,
yeah,
the
yeah,
team is
the
giving the
window of
players to
opportunity,
win it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, but obviously from the 80s and the 90s, it wasn't that much moving around. The players wanted to move around, maybe like one, maybe two
Right.
players,
Like I
like
couldn't
maybe one in
imagine
a decade.
Reggie Miller nowhere else but Indiana,
But
bro.
Indiana, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
like
so
that's
my
his
thing, yeah,
team.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So here's the thing. The thing is, we don't like the dudes that lost to Jordan in the 90s. We ain't putting them on no pedestal, obviously, but we ain't throwing them in the shitter neither. Because the thing is, they played the way they played. They was great for the time they was great, and they all stood on something. You know what I'm saying?
right.
They all stood on the foundation of what the league was built on.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You was around. What do you see how Rodman was the rival of Jordan, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
like
because he played for Detroit and then he went to the Bulls. You know the
right
rivalry between Detroit and Chicago.
in Chicago. Yeah,
How do you contrast Rodman and KD in similar circumstances with KD going to Golden State after losing to Golden State in the 3-1 situation? And is that and how do you feel about the Rodman as far as contrast? Is that in the same ballpark or you think that's a little different? Or how you feel about it?
it's very different because Rodman on the Pistons was a role player.
Okay.
Kevin Durant on his first team was the best player on his team. He was a superstar.
Facts.
He's the MVP.
Right.
He was a
Right.
All NBA. He was 30. He was a 4-time lead scorer. He's leading league in scoring almost every other year.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you could think of. Dennis Rodman was a defensive specialist guy. He was an energy guy. You know, he was a guy. His style of play don't exist today. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like like you cannot have no just a defensive specialist and a guy that ain't putting pressure on you on the offense end at all. You
All
know,
right.
Dennis,
So
yeah. So
yeah, now you answered that question, but I want to again, it's because what I'm trying to figure out is just the mindset. I try to, I'm a fan of the game, I'm a fan of players too, and why they do what they do. And I see CP3, and he don't look happy. He look uncomfortable with that situation. CP3, he was the number one guy when he played on the Clippers. You know what I mean? Yeah, they had DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, but Lob City made Lob City possible. You know what I'm saying? He was the reason for it. He was the number one guy, and seeing him go play behind Steph Curry, and Steph Curry was his main competition in the West. And you know what I'm saying? You got to realize part of the reason why you know CP3 wanted to go to the Lakers is probably to compete with a Steph Curry or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Or to compete. Or because it wasn't necessarily the same time, but still, I don't see CP3 comfortable being the number one guy for that long and then being with Steph Curry. You can match them talent wise and say, yeah, he's great, but just something about it don't feel right. I'm gonna be honest with you. When KD went to Golden State, I thought it was like, damn man, like how could you? You know what I mean? When Rodman went to Chicago, I was like surprised, like, oh man, they definitely winning it though. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't social media like that back then. I think there's just a lot more us, on YouTube vlogging about it, a lot more on social media, a lot more on, what I'm saying, ESPN, and just, what I mean, just a lot more talk around the sport, and people building personalities around it. You see, what I'm saying, at the whole community, how things have changed. And I'm saying that to get to the point of, I see how social media has impacted players and how they do things. You know what I mean? Some teams, I feel like sometimes players be playing for, mom, look like my mom made it. You know what I'm saying? They get that contract. They ain't necessarily trying to come to the league and win it. You know what I mean? Once they get to the league, that's the win. You know what I'm saying? So,
basically,
it takes a lot to compete at this level, and be serious about winning and being the best. And that's why you love players like Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I see how social media and the YouTube community impacted. You know what I'm saying? Just how you can interact with the who you talking to with the super chats and jump on a panel And you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that experience is is you know is I think part of the reason why you see these big, companies, you know what I'm saying, making these big decisions with their staff. You know what I mean? Listen to me, man. You know who Through the Wire is?
Through the wire.
Kenny
I heard.
Beecham and his crew. I don't know the rest of their names for real, but
I heard of them. I'm not really familiar with them 100%
Through the
though,
Wire,
man.
I be everywhere. I jump on this. I be in his comments, but not heavy though. You know what I'm saying? But they a younger demographic, and you got these personalities on ESPN, and this is all opinion, not fact. I got no sources. I know nobody. I'm just big fan Breezy. I just feel like
Uh,
the community, and on YouTube where you can interact with the panelists, and jump on the panel. You could, you know what I mean, voice your own opinions, and you know what I'm saying, the super chats and all of the interactive energy between the fan base and the actual show is part of the reason why, you know what I'm saying, ESPN maybe got, you know what I mean, took such a surprising move, you know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying, I feel like, this community, and look, and I'm saying all of this to say, so you don't think I'm rambling on. Through the Wire came on. I seen Kenny B. This is how I seen it in how you say, chronological order. Kenny Beecham got an interview with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith said, "I like you." He like the whole interview. I was listening to it. They was building, and you could tell like they fond of each other. You could tell that Kenny Beecham is a student of the game of Kenny A. Smith. You could see how Kenny Beecham got his own style. You could see how Kenny A. is like, you know, kind of, kind of rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I like this. You know what I mean? I see what's going on. But next thing you know, Through the Wire, they do a show like Ernie and Shaq and them, like they had that same background drop, same setting. And then next thing I know, they made all these layoffs. So what I'm saying is, they don't have that. I never seen them with the super chat community like that. I seen them, they be doing tours and shit. You know what I mean? Like big shit like that. But I'm saying that to say they're a younger demographic, and I just think that the younger demographic on the sports side, just the vlogging side, I don't know, they kind of turned up. I think this community kind of turned up and shook things up. You know what I mean? We shook up the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that, ESPN laid them off because of this community. I'm not taking it that far. But I am saying that, they number guys when it's all business is about production, and that turn that I don't know which way they go after that. I never seen anything like that done. What's your take on it though, bro?
my take on it is something I always knew. See, the thing about ESPN is they not grossing the views like they was before the PCs and before all of these other podcasts came into fruition. Why you think Stephen A. Smith got his own YouTube channel?
Talk
It's
about it.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, look, listen to me. A lot of the stuff, even though ESPN still has a significant amount of the audience,
Yeah.
but the hardcore basketball fans,
Mm-hmm.
the hardcore, I'm talking
Talk
about.
about it. Who the Hoopers watch?
Yeah. Who the Hoopers watch, bro? They watching PC.
Uh-huh.
It's 25K of them a day. They
Yeah.
they listening to me. They listening to you. They listening to every other podcast. Whether it's Bobby Big Ox or like they on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they not listening to ESPN because they had got tired of falling in under the craft that ESPN always knew what they was talking about, which they clearly figured out that that wasn't the case. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So ESPN, listen, it's a big reason, and I follow a lot of behind the scenes dudes and a lot of dudes that undercover the like the background shit, like the tickets and the ticket TVs. It's a whole lot more of them. It's a
Yeah.
whole lot more of them. Trust me, bro. Like, and I follow a lot of them. Them motherfuckers is comedy. You know what I'm saying? So but they tell a real scoop, bro. Like it was a dude that told me he was like, yo, ESPN was making some cutbacks, and Stephen A. was getting scared, and Stephen A. is gonna get scared again because they making more cutbacks. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, now that you got now that you got Skip Bayless trying to low key sub in
Recruit.
trying to low key recruit Charles Barkley. Don't nobody want to work with him. Don't nobody
Uh-huh.
want to work with him because they tied his mouth. He really a hack writer turned
Mm-hmm.
into but they were all writers. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them dudes over there were writers. Stephen A.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless, they were all writers. They turned into TV personalities.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Kendrick
know,
Perkins,
yo,
like you
talk that
listen,
shit, bro.
you gotta see the thing is you gotta add it all up. Jalen Rose got fired, but Kendrick Perkins still got a job, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Whatever camera you looking at, throw it away, bro. Like you gotta understand what this is. This is them. Now they figure, you know what? Let's just get the LeBron media in, so nobody ain't gonna argue with us. Why you think Malika Andrews bum ass still got a job, and she done brought up how many cases, legal issues with young men, and everything with Adrian Payne who passed away, with Brandon Miller who was just getting drafted, a 19-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So my thing
listen.
is like, yo, people got to just pay attention to how this shit is run. This is one of the reasons why I don't fuck with LeBron James, bro, because he got his
Mm-hmm.
own media team, bro, and I need him out. He's a plague to this league. He always has been, and I
Mm-hmm.
strongly believe that, bro. And Kevin Durant, and Steph, they really just along for the money train ride. They rode that. They used Steph. That's what they did. They used Steph. You know how they use Steph? They use Steph because Steph is good for the kids. All of
Mm-hmm.
these little kids, man, that's like going through weight problems. They get in the driveway, they start shooting from the other side of their damn driveway. All of a sudden they in the
Oh
basketball.
man.
You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden a year later they playing basketball. They shooting from mid court. They taking shots from half court in the junior leagues and
Yeah.
shit. And then they either praise Steph or blame Steph for it.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm
So
saying? So
nah, but
so
my thing is, listen, at the end of the day, I look at it for what it is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was about to get into it with Low. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't. I'll be saying him on it, and I ain't gonna lie, he was cooking it. But forget that. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I had jumped on Open Gym, and low on Mars, Mars, he be talking hella shit like, he can't miss. So I was like, yo, who hit the first 3-pointer in the NBA? He was like, I don't know. I said exactly. So he was like, and then Low jumped in like, so what does that mean? I was like, yo, that's not the point. He acting like he could cook anybody in the chat. And I said he shouldn't talk like that, especially when I'm on the scene. I shake shit. So what? So like that. So Low was like, he said something, but then me and him was about to go at it because you know we was talking about mid-range jumpers, and I was talking about mid-range jumpers, about how vital it is and how they need to bring that back. And I was saying that the Dub, and you know what I mean. I just feel like at the end of the day, it's to what you said. These kids, the far as fundamentals, you far as efficiency, the best shot is the closest one to the basket. I
right.
mean, you're taking 3 pointers, like how what
They
coach is
take they
coaching you?
taking three
What
pointers because they
right?
all watch Steph, bro.
Right, but
Like
that's
that,
what
like
I'm
all of it. Yeah,
exactly. I get it, but that's not how you supposed to coach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
obviously,
yeah, no,
obviously.
but right, but that's what I'm saying. With them being influential. Yo, what up, Big Priest?
Yo, what up, Breezy? What's good, homie?
Chilling.
Priest,
You
what
see,
What
up, bro?
up, Leaf? What up,
What's
yeah,
good
homie?
with?
shout out to you for holding the panel down the other day, and I clipped that with you and
I
Leaf
had
the
to
other
tell you,
day. You seen it?
somebody tried to
I
get at
gotta
me
check it
today
out.
talking. Somebody tried to get at me today, bro, talking about I'm a bad Brooklyn Nets fan or some shit, bro. Like
What?
on the chill show. Yeah, it had 5 o'clock today, bro. I was on because somehow, some way, LeBron name had came up, man. You know, I piss on everything he stand for. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So like my thing is just like, all
Now
right,
y'all
bro. Like
held it down. You and Big Priest held it down.
yeah, no. I'm talking about the 5 o'clock show today with Chill earlier today. So yeah, so
There's a
claimed he
bunch
was
of
from
haters out there, yo.
yeah. Claimed he was from
Nah,
Brooklyn,
man,
man. I was just like, all
I don't
right,
jack none of that, man. Like, you trust me, bro. Like, nobody, you run a
As
foul at Leaf, you
with
run a
the
foul at me, yo. And all of that shit you was saying about, like, yo, don't say nothing about the Brooklyn Nets, yo, bro. I be everywhere talking about the Brooklyn Nets, and yeah, I get into shit, but I don't leave with no scratches on me. You know what I'm saying?
hold on, nah. The reason, I'm gonna tell you the reason
What
why I
up,
said that. The reason why I said that, the
Big
reason
Priest?
why I
What up,
first
Big
said it,
Priest?
The reason why I said that, Breeze, initially because I don't want nobody in like coming in once we start setting the fire ablaze, bro. I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody coming in like I'm like, yo, you wasn't talking about us before. You talk about we messed up 2 super teams or whatever. Keep that same energy when we finally get to where we
How
want
we
to get,
mess
bro.
up? How we mess up the super
That's what I'm
teams when the
saying.
guys wasn't available?
That's what
Like,
I'm saying.
That,
like
yeah, nah, I
That's what
ain't
I'm saying.
tripping on.
So
I
so
ain't
so I'm
tripping
not
off
so
that.
so I'm done. So I listen. Notice I don't come on open gym no more, bro. I've been stopped coming over because it's narrative driven, bro. Like especially when you was talking about Low and Mars, bro. It's narrative driven because them two become this tag team duel. Listen,
It don't
Low.
matter, bro. They not listen. I see them cooking. Both of them do their thing. I ain't gonna lie, they're a tough act, but they could get cooked too. Boss and low, both of
The
them.
thing is, they both got the same strategy. Low created all of them analytics kids, bro. Like he ain't start talking to basketball till he found out YouTube and get him rich, bro. Come on, bro. Like he ain't start. Come on, he don't know nothing about this shit here, bro. Like he just sitting on this. Listen, why he go back 20 years and go pick on niggas like Stockton, bro. Like listen, I don't deal with that side over there. Dub is the only person I can approve of. Everybody
But
else.
like I
I'm like,
said, man,
I X'd them out, man.
like
I
I
don't.
said, like I told you, like if like our word is win. So if he get this, like I said, man, I think mid ranges is more. I think you underselling it. I think you don't appreciate the mid range, and I think I think you just trying to sell sign. I ain't buying.
You know
You trying to
you know what the crazy part is? The mid range is more useful in the playoffs than it is in the regular season. Go
yeah,
look at anybody. Go look at anybody
yeah,
that won in the past couple of years. Whether it was Kevin Durant, Kawhi, mid
exactly.
range shooters. Look, motherfucking Joker. He could get in the mid and the close range. Come on, bro.
Exactly.
Like what are we
Tell him I
talking about?
said that too. If he want to debate, I debate him. That mid
I'm not
ranges is
debating
more
with none of them
important.
niggas, man. They gonna have to
Exactly.
put something in my cash app, man, before I go back over there, man. Like for real, for real. I ain't doing that shit no more, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm tired of going back and forth with a generation that try to convince each other, bro, that analytics that you could use analytics to basically judge the players from yesteryear. You can't do it. That shit was
Yeah.
invented 10 years
even if
ago
you
in a
use
Right.
analytics, Michael Jordan is still the best player ever. You know what I mean?
But see, you know,
With
you
shit
know
like
what
that.
yo, big priest. You know what I realized too is that again, you gotta respect errors, and this is why I always respect the answer from great players like Michael Jordan and say, yo, I gotta respect the errors because we all know that from the beginning of basketball up until now, the players make the game evolve. They the ones who are changing the game and how it's played. The ABA is made the NBA play the way they play because the way ABA basketball players was playing basketball in the
And
ABA. They
that's
brought
why
that
and that's
style
why I
to
give
the
them
NBA. You know what I'm
championships.
saying?
That's why I give them championships merit
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
talk about what the what is it, the Long Island Nets, what they did then.
The
You
New
know what I
York Jets.
mean? When you talk about the Denver Nuggets, what they did then,
Yeah, the
the
Denver
San
Nuggets.
Antonio Spurs, what they did then, all
Yeah,
that stuff that brought excitement back to the NBA. We don't
yeah.
even have an NBA today if it's not for that era of ABA basketball, just like Negro League baseball. But
Mm,
people who don't know about the game don't know about that. You know what I mean?
exactly.
They just focus on what they can see, and they try to discredit that era of basketball when
hmm
the ABA basketball back then was the A level top basketball.
It
Yeah.
was the A level top basketball, and to harp on another thing, the reason why I don't mess with nobody on that side, like because they promote the whole advanced statistics era, bro. That basically just tries to destroy the recent era, bro. That we fell in love with the game in the first place, bro. I
hmm
guarantee you, bro. It was more people. More people that was influenced and was watching the game, bro, when AI shook the shit out of Jordan, bro, than anything else, bro. Like because the age gap just tells you so. Most of the people that we politicking with, they in their 30s and shit, bro. Like they around that time, they around that time stamp in that early 2000s with the Kobe's,
If
with the
you don't
Shaqs.
give AI love, you don't know about basketball either. Cause that dude, to do what he did at 6 foot, you know what I mean? And you
Barely
might
a
be
buck
giving
50,
him, you might be
barely a buck
barely,
50.
you might be giving him something when you say he's 6 foot. He might have been shorter than that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But what he did, how he dominated games, you know what I'm saying, without no other offensive firepower. He wasn't on no super team. Like he didn't go join other top 10 players. He didn't go join Vince. He didn't go join. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right,
Now,
Kobe,
but
T Mac. The
right,
way
right,
the
right.
way he dominated should always be admired.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
but
I
but
think
they
I
don't.
think
I wanted to slide just to kind of follow where I was going with it, the conversation. I feel like the All Star game is the only kind of glimpse or glance, when you watch basketball in the '90s, where you really kind of consider like, wow, these players on the same team, that would be dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, other
that
yeah,
than
was
that, you
true.
just looked at it like this guy's on this team, he's going to stay on this team. Like I was saying about Reggie Miller, like
Yeah,
I never thought he was leaving. He never left.
never,
But what
never.
I'm saying is now you look at basketball now, and it's a rare thing. There's not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of players that's drafted that stay with their team into the end of their career. It's not the
That's right.
common thing in NBA basketball. You
It
feel what
ain't.
I'm saying? So hold on. There's somebody named Chef Tay. Now I'm letting you know, as far as the Brooklyn Nets and the page, if this is a troll, you guys could just step to the side. I'm gonna pull out the frying pan and I'm gonna cook this fan. Otherwise, we're gonna move forward amicably. You know what I'm saying?
no
Yo,
doubt, homie.
yeah, who is yo? What up, man? Let's go with you, Chef Tay.
So I
Oh,
tell you, you on mute.
yeah, Chef Tay. Let's go with you.
All right,
Oh man.
you gotta wait for him to get this shit
Oh man,
together.
he
So,
probably giggling and goofing. Yo, man,
uh,
stop playing with me, man. Listen, man, this is a
like,
Nets
bro, like
fan
the
page.
page ain't even blasted like that, bro. Like, and everybody, you know
Right,
what?
like if y'all pull up and y'all ready,
Yeah, man.
if you ready, man, say that, man.
Yeah,
If you,
man. Yeah,
Like
you
real
know what?
talk.
You know,
Like
on that note, man, I'm gonna make this night short, man. These niggas out here tripping, bro. Like, I'm gonna charge this phone, man.
yo, shout
my
out to
I'm
my
Leaf,
hollering at
thing
man.
y'all.
was like what Leaf was talking about. I can go on them other basketball show. I know you pull up Breezy. I know you do your thing. I can go on there and I can talk basketball with anybody. But I ain't got time for it. You know what I mean? I ain't finna be arguing with niggas about shit that don't make no sense.
Yeah, nah, I don't be trying to argue. I just, I guess it's entertainment or whatever. But I have fun. I got a debate show I do every Saturday at KBN Run the City, the
Yeah,
podcast.
I gotta get on that because I can't stand Knicks fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we need that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? we definitely be at it, but it's all fun. And ain't no disrespect. We don't take it to the Frank stand. None of that. No glizzy goblin and all of that. Yo, I'm telling you, man. These YouTube streets be having me crying. I can't do none of that shit. Like I'm not that guy, man. I'll be on some other shit, man. But shout to Chef Tay, man. What's up with you, man? Yo, Chef Tay, you there? All right, man. I gotta sub
Uh,
you out, my guy. You know.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with homie.
But what I wanted to ask you, because I made that short, Big Priest, and you were saying that you liked the team when the superstars left. I kind of wanted to hear you get into that a little more. What did you like about when the superstars left, and why did you like the team we had, the roster we had?
I felt like it was less distractions. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
more focused on basketball.
facts.
So when you get when and not to say because I liked when KD was on the team, but so for instance, if we was able, if KD was able to, you know what I mean, get out his feelings and
Mm,
play ball with that squad we had after, I actually think Cam would have got more minutes. I
fact.
think um I think it would have been again more focused on basketball. And I ain't blaming everything on Kyrie. You know what I mean? Because like I say, I'm a Kyrie guy. He come from Jersey like me.
Okay.
So I I actually agree with a lot of the shit he say. But
Right.
also with me being in the army all that time, I also know that when you in a business, a corporation, a company that has rules, you have to follow them rules. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
but my thing with Kyrie is, we as a man, I respect it. As a fan,
yeah,
you're a
yeah.
pain in the ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
you could,
that's
you have to,
exactly the perfect way to put it.
Yeah,
As a
like
man, I can respect your what you believe in and all this and that. But as a fan, we just want to see you on the court. Leave all that other shit
yeah,
somewhere else. You know what I mean?
right. Like
So
why you say that at work? Yo, you ever see that? This shit hilarious, man. I always think of this every time I see Kyrie. And the dude, it was like an audio clip, and he was like, yo, when you get off work, I'm gonna holler at you. What's your social media, dog? He was like, nah, bruh. I'm a totally different person when I get off of work. And what I'm saying is, if that's you, Kyrie, then be you after work. Like nobody, everybody, you ever heard somebody say, yo, you got a work voice? You know, you didn't
yeah,
answer the phone all proper. Like you answer your
yeah,
regular phone, like, yeah, what up, my guy? And then you at work and shit. You like, hello, how you doing? Can I help you?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You got the whole spiel that you run off at work, but when you at the crib, you know what I mean. You carry yourself in a different manner, and
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like
So that's what I'm
be
saying with him,
be
man. Just
you,
put on
be
your work
you, be
voice.
your yeah, exactly.
Yeah, put on you. You get home, like think about it, the press conference and how they answer the questions. Like that's I'll be doing voice. I used to do voiceovers too, like with the press conference, and just say what I think they really be wanting to say. You're like,
Yeah, because
um,
that's the thing. Because in
you
the
sh-
press conference, even that, like the same way that when, like I say, I can hark back to the army. When we was talking to the press, we had certain things that we were supposed to say and certain things that we wasn't.
yeah,
Like it's all thing. It's the only difference is we was getting paid a lot less money to follow them rules.
that's what
So I mean, the thing about it is, you know what I mean. You know what you getting paid $30 million to do, so
hmm
do it. You know what I mean? forty
yeah.
million dollars to do, so do it.
But and another thing is like you getting caught up at work, like at
Yeah,
work,
you're not
like
showing up.
that's not
Um,
even what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go to work and your job is asking you about basketball questions because basketball is your job, then yeah, you got it. Other than that, what you ain't got. I ain't telling you shit. You ain't see me do shit. Like I guess I don't know, but I said all that to say that it's tough to play in this media. I seen
yeah, especially in New York, that's the
yeah
hardest media in the
yeah
world.
the New York media. So my thing is, how is that gonna how it
And the
can't
crazy thing about it is too, Kyrie know that.
Mhm. Yeah, but
He
that's
been
the thing. That's what I'm saying. As a man, I respect you. I do. But as a fan, you're a pain in the ass, bro. Like, golly, just play the fucking game. Like, but then it's like, as a man, I get it. I get you, bro. But at the end of the day, when I look at the statistics, he played 44 games in 3 seasons with KD, and then the last season he didn't play 44 games in one season with KD. It's 82 games in a season. As a fan, I'm frustrated, bro.
yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's why I wasn't mad at getting rid of all these people that you see on these streams that they wasn't real Nets fans, cool, that followed the players around
Yeah,
and this and that. It is what it is. My thing is, if
right,
you were, I'm about team first. So if you supposed to be on the team and you not injured, if you injured, that's one thing. But if
right,
you not injured, I want to see you on the court. I don't care nothing about you know what I mean, what it is that you got going on outside of the. I mean, I ain't gonna say I don't care because I do care. I know
right.
human beings go through things.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But when you supposed to be at work, you supposed to be at work. I mean, nobody else, no other job, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? No other job,
man.
no, even if you got a sports show, you can't do that.
Right, but no, let's get into that because we got Lonnie Walker now. I think he's tapped in. He want to hoop. We got who else? Hold on.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Hold on. Chef Tay said, I only asked what was your future insights for the Brooklyn Nets. I was a fan when KG was there. No need for no cooking pain. We was just trying to talk basketball. I got to rest work in the AM. You said you gonna pull up and said that. You could
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
talk hoops with us. I ain't on it like that. Where I gotta pull out the pen. Shit, you friendly? It's all good. Like I'm trying to talk hoops. That's what me and Big Priest doing right now.
Yeah, we
Um,
ain't got no issue with the hoop talking. We got issue with the wild shit.
with the trolling, yeah, man. Like we gotta be careful of the trolling. We just, protecting the page. But shout out to you, Chef Tay. It's the first time you've been up here. I don't want to give you a rough act. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. I'm glad you jumped on the panel.
No doubt.
And shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? That's fans is the best fans. But to answer your question, you said I only asked what was the future insights for the Brooklyn Nets. Me and Big Priest, we was just talking about that. How the superstars are not there, quote unquote, and now we could kind of lock in with its team. It felt like KD and the Brooklyn Nets, and now I just feel like it's the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's the Brooklyn Nets. We together. We on the same team, and everybody putting in that same effort and energy, and not expecting one from more from another player because of their accolades that they got on a different team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And you even hear that they like when Sean Marks, like Dinwiddie, um, uh, Coach Vaughn, they even getting that vibe from Ben, which is a good thing. That he's prepared to work, that he's ready, that he's getting ready.
yeah,
Because they checked in with him, and he seemed like he's close to being ready. He did not he's not participating in the FIBA World Cup because he's focused on getting ready to play for the squad. And I can
salute.
always get behind something like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I
shout
think
out to him.
and to answer your question, say I know you say about to call it a night. But I'll say is I think that the Brooklyn Nets they want a different reputation. They got a tough at with Kyrie and KD, and I don't think that Sean Marks wanted that representation from a business relationship with Katie and Kyrie, or even one with Steve Nash. Um, I think they try to move forward in a good way, but
No doubt.
non Chef Tay, I can't hear you. I would love to hear you comment. I would love to hear you what you
You
got.
got to check your mic. Maybe you muted your mic or something.
Yeah, yeah. Check your mic. It don't show you on mute, but me and Big Priest, I can hear Big Priest. You can hear me, right? Big Priest.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe his mic on mute or something. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can mute your mic without being muted on the channel.
yeah. We wasn't just trying to go get the pan. We wasn't just trying to cook. I mean, I seen your name, Chef Tay. I just think that we got swept twice. We on the defense right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Because if we got a healthy Ben, the defensive potential of this squad is crazy. If you got a healthy Ben,
or shout Big Priest. She Chef Tay. Chef Tay said great take. So they was agreeing with what we said. So
okay, cool.
shout out to you, Chef Tay. I appreciate you. Pull up again, man. Hopefully, we can hear you.
Gotta get your calm straight though.
Yeah, yeah. It happens to the best
Oh
of us.
no, it happens to everybody.
Yeah. But shout out to Big Priest, man. We really talking basketball out here, and to his point, I think we building a culture. We didn't resign DDJ. I don't know why. I think if we're gonna keep Dennis Smith Jr., we definitely need to keep DDJ. I think they're the same kind of player. DDJ really stepped up with the Long Island Nets, averaged 22.3 as a point guard,
But
and
he's still. I think he's still. It's still a possibility that he can come back. I think we still got a couple roster spots. But and like I said, I think with them with the team kind of stating that they behind Ben, I think that's important, especially for his mental.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Because once you've been thrown away a couple times, you kind of can feel some kind of way. You know what I mean? If you don't feel like you got the support. So if they are supporting him or being supportive towards him,
I think they are.
I think that can be big, especially for his for like I said, his confidence and everything like that. sometimes as a man, that's all you need is to have support for you to be fully behind the program. So we'll
Yeah,
see what he brings. I think we'll get more information in training camp, and we can
right.
kind of make a better determination. So
Yeah,
if
no,
he's ready for training camp or if he's out there participating in basketball activities, and like I said, I believe a lot of it is was his health.
yeah, but
So
I think with them getting Dariq Whitehead, it shows the direction of the Brooklyn Nets. It shows that they building. They agreed that we building. We chased the championship. We tried to with KD and Kyrie. It didn't
but
work for us.
seeing what Denver did,
Regroup.
organically kind of give a lot of teams like Brooklyn, like Orlando, like
And then
a lot of
it opens up the window too, Big Priest. You got to think about it. They had Jokic and Murray together. I think they got them 2 seasons apart. So,
hmm
and it took them like a good 5 to 7 seasons for them to win it. So the window for when you drafting players to build a team, again, Jokic was a second round pick, so it's not like Denver was waiting for a high draft pick to build their team. And I think that's what teams need to be looking at too. It
and
wasn't.
it was good fortune too because they was able to get who is it? They was able to get MPJ with like the 10th pick because he was hurt.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
other than that, he wouldn't have been there. He would have been the top 5 pick.
And they saying the same thing about Derek. They saying Derek he would have went way higher.
Yeah, he would have been top 10, I believe. I
Yeah,
believe he got that kind of talent.
yeah.
So you get a guy like him, you build him up slowly. You let him develop. Even a guy like Clax was a second round pick or a late
Mm,
first round pick, and
right.
he's getting better every year.
Yeah. Yeah. What up, Chef
I,
Tay?
I like our squad, yo.
Yeah, me too.
Real
I
real
like
talk.
I like the fact that you there, Chef Tay. I like the fact that the Brooklyn Nets can find talent. Nah, we still can't hear you, Chef Tay.
No, we can't hear you.
Word. We here though, man. We trying to hear you. You know.
Yeah, we try to figure out what it is, but like I said, yeah, I think this young core, Cam Johnson showed flashes.
Yeah.
I want to see Cam Thomas on the court, but I'm not going to put too much faith in that because he hasn't been on the court. You know what I mean? I feel like Cam Thomas can help us. So
Yeah.
getting him
Um.
on the court would be big too. At least offensively, especially with all the defensive talent we got. We got a guy that can go get 40. Not a lot of teams got that.
Word. And he did it 3 games in a row. Like you said, that game was impressive, but people never really mentioned that Indiana game too. I really thought him and Ed Sumner played a great next to
The
each other. I
Indiana
thought they,
game, the Washington game,
yeah,
it was
I feel like because of the way Ed Sumner pushes the pace, Cam Thomas can control the pace
yeah.
because you feel what I'm saying? As some that pushes the pace, and then you got a guard like Cam Thomas that'll create his own shot and control the pace. And I think that they asking for Cam Thomas to be a better passer when the double comes. I think he can become that player. He
He
might be
has to
the
be on the
greatest.
court to develop that though. He can't, you know what I mean? You can't
Right.
ask him to improve while he's sitting on the end of the bench.
That's a fact.
So
What how many
so
minutes would you give Cam Thomas if you had a say in the matter? I'm giving him
um
25. I'm giving him
20
25.
to 25. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
that's
giving
a
him a solid 25 minutes, maybe 25 or more. Like seriously, he was really productive when he got out, and he never really got in a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like every time he started doing this thing, and you know, they just find a reason to sit him. I wasn't cool with that. But what I was cool with was seeing him. All right, Chef Tay, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Say keep up the good work. Shout out to Big Priest, man, keeping the panel lit. Man, I appreciate the panel, man. I do, you know what I mean. I do this by myself if I have to, but I always appreciate when the panel pull up. But yeah, listen, I like I'm in agreement I think that we got a solid bench. We went out, we got Lonnie Walker, we got Royce O'Neal, we got 7 guards. We don't need Hero. Now, this is my piece on how I feel about Hero. I feel that he's a good guard, but he's asking for a lot for 1 year, and then he would be in contract year. Next year, contract year, we need to focus on Nick Claxton. Like, period. I mean, I could go
Yeah.
on and make it sound pretty, but at the end of the day, we got 7 guards, and no, no, just no. No, I'm just finding more reasons to say no than say
Nick
yeah.
Claxton is way more important to our future than a Tyler Hero.
That's a
I
fact.
wish him all the best, but we don't need him over here.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm gonna go through some of these Twitter. So I like to go through Twitter, man. Next Twitter be funny. He said, "Oh, Barry said stop babysitting Simmons." Nah, listen, we fans of the team, man.
I'm
We
not
fans.
not babysitting Simmons. I think Simmons is a good player. I think Simmons was had a severe lack of confidence, and that can happen to anybody. I
Facts.
heard Draymond speak on that, on how he lost his confidence and didn't want it, because we could remember a time where Draymond didn't want to shoot the ball after
Wow.
we then saw him put up a 30 ball in the NBA Finals. So it can happen to anyone. You know what I mean? So all I'm
Right.
saying is that I want, when you support a man, when you show him that you got his back, especially somebody who has a fragile, you know what I mean, thing about himself.
Mhm.
You got to build that up. That takes time.
Yeah, and that takes the
So
ball club building with because there's a shooting coach too. The assistant coaches. You got the video coordinator, right? You got the
yeah,
offensive coordinator. You got the defensive coordinator. You got the shooting coach, right? So like all of these, and you got the player development coach. So you got 5 different coaches. If you working with these guys every day, and I think that's why the G League is rivaling the fucking draft, man. The college, like you see how many players was
yeah.
not from the college draft. Like that's I never seen no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time I've seen it that many not get drafted right from college. Like Duke, the number 1 player usually come from like Duke, right? Or
Facts.
UNT or you know what I'm saying? Like one of the top colleges. And that did not happen this year. Shit, the number 2 pick wasn't from a college neither. What Brandon Miller, what he played for again?
No, Brandon Miller came from Alabama.
Right. So, but the number 1 and 2 pick wasn't from college, man. That's history. Yo, with this basketball era, trust me, we gonna be not us, maybe us. If they put me in a 30 for 30 for Sports Center, that'd be dope. Imagine we just on that shit. They just put a little clip. I take my little 15 seconds bank
No doubt.
for
No
30
doubt.
for 30. But yeah, I'm a love to see the 30 for 30 that they do. When they finally hits. BG say, get Hero, y'all be straight. Nah, we good. Uh, he says, "Stop it, Simmons. Don't look at the rim. Wow, you taking it there." Chef Tay, shout out to Chef Tay. She says, "I think Simmons will build his confidence when he feel he is somewhere he wants to be. To be honest, I go through this shit every year in different kitchens." Okay, so that's an analogy where I guess
You're
Chef
saying Ben
Tay.
don't want to be in Brooklyn, but
No, I
uh,
don't think it's that. I don't think he don't want to be in Brooklyn. I agree with the confidence part. Like he got to build his confidence. Is he
and
somewhere?
they said he wasn't healthy. That's what I kept hearing, that he wasn't healthy.
Right.
So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he's not healthy,
Yeah.
first of all, physical health can affect your mental as well. If
Right.
you trying to do something and your body not allowing you to do it because it's just not there, you know what I mean? You don't have it there physically, that can
Mm,
affect you. So
yeah.
I'm gonna give, like I said, I'm gonna give Ben the benefit of the doubt. I believe he's gonna get better.
Hmm.
I believe he gonna be. I believe that he will be able to help us.
Yeah,
You know what I
you know
mean?
what? I'm gonna have to agree, and I think that's the trajectory of the Brooklyn Nets. And the reason why I say that, say so, is because they drafted Derek Whitehead, and Derek Whitehead got a foot injury right now. He's missing the summer league because of it. They're trying to get him back in training camp in preseason and hopefully make the rotation. Because the truth
And
is
and
that,
people don't understand too. Ben never been a half court offensive guy.
right,
All
right.
his production has been in the fast break, getting out and running,
I
or
think they keep Simmons, man. I think doing right by him is a good thing, man.
absolutely.
Where Chef
You're not
Tate's
the only
also,
one.
hold on, let me read this. It says Chef Tate also said Simmons was this from the other one. It said, I go through this shit every year in different kitchens. Simmons was and could still be a beast if he is somewhere comfortable for him. I think, I, I, I think she said he might be homesick. To be honest, I think that he's still keeping contact. I seen this in an interview he had. He's still keeping contact. He got family in Philly, so he not that homesick. Philly not that far. I even drove there one time so my dudes could perform. It's like 3 hours away. So I'm pretty sure he
Yeah, no
touched
doubt.
them. I'm pretty sure if when he wants to go to Philly, he goes there. So he ain't that homesick. To be honest, I feel like
And our GM is
the
from where he from.
yeah the best place for Ben Simmons is the Brooklyn Nets. Let him heal here. Don't give up on him for Hero because Hero is just going to be somebody that's going to take time out of the
Hero be hurt,
right.
and
But
Hero
no,
don't play no D.
right, and not no knock on him. We're trying to develop the players that we got, and by adding Hero to the roster, we take
Well,
away that whole player development. Everything we doing with the player, the assistant coaches don't having all of this, clout with player development. All of that goes out the window by getting Tyler Hero. It's like you
and
might as
taking
well hire
shots away from Bridges,
guys.
taking
Yeah,
shots away from Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas
exactly.
might not be as good as Hero right now, but I
Hmm.
believe his potential can rival Hero.
Yeah,
Whether
nah.
people want to say I'm crazy or not.
Yeah, no, listen. I think I'm with you with that. Chef
I want to
Taste,
see I want to see Cam Thomas play more, not get somebody to make him play less.
right, exactly, man. Chef Taste said he just gotta get that dog in him and not give a fuck where he at, honey. I agree with that. I feel like Ben Simmons, you know what I mean, gotta look in the mirror. He gotta, you know what I'm saying, play Get
That's a
At Me
fact.
Dog by DMX. You know what I'm saying? He gotta, you know what I mean, hear somebody say some light skinned jokes, you know what I'm saying? Then just like that shit dirt off his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? He gotta build himself up, talk to himself, affirmations, you know what I'm saying? Go out before everybody wake up and jog. You know what I mean? Like show that dedication, show everything. When you fell in love with basketball in Australia, when you grew up as a kid, tap into that. You got the money, just tap into when you fell in love with it. You know what I mean? Love the game, regardless of what people say. You may not love the fans, and that's fine. I mean, even me being big fan Breeze, it kind of hurt if you don't love the fans, but it's okay. If you go out there and you love the game, we love you anyway. We love you because you love the game, not because you love the fans. We don't
Yeah,
need you to
you
wait.
can't let the fans
Right, and kiss
deter you.
goodbye every time you leave. Cause you could come in, go to work like big fundamentals. He wasn't a fan guy. He came in, he went to work, and he went home. That's what I wanted from Kyrie Irving, and that's why I wanted from. And I think we get some of that out of Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. I think that's what Big
We
Priest
get a
called where
lot of
we
that
agree
from
at.
Mikael Bridges.
Yeah, and I think that's where we agree at as fans, man. Like these guys are want to hoop. They tapped in, they want to hoop. I'm pretty sure they, vocal about matters that are relevant and vital to them and important to them. But they find a space to do it. And, you know what I mean? And not at work. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who don't have certain conversations at work because they at work. What they doing at work? Working. They're working at work, and I just think that again, as a fan, I gotta agree with Big Priest. I think going
Excuse me.
forward with these, bless you. I think going forward with these guys that want to hoop with something to prove, and Jock Vaughn definitely got something to prove. He wasn't a good coach in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? And I seen the interview he had with Megan Triplett. He said, "Yeah, I was ready to compete, but I wasn't ready to coach." That's a good interview. I'm telling you, man, Megan Triplett, she's interviewing Jock Vaughn. I think it's like a half hour. I watched that. I watched the whole thing. That was a good interview, and I think that was part of the reason why I started liking Jock Vaughn even more. It's just hearing him, vocalize what it was to stay loyal from an assistant coach to becoming a head coach, seeing how Kenny Atkinson, Steve Nash, and even Dan Tony being there, having more say in the matter than a Jock Vaughn. Ime leaving and seeing him be successful with the Celtics and seeing all of the
Facts.
talent that he was developing leave. He was developing Karis LeVert, developing Jared Allen, developing Dinwiddie before he left. He was it was him. We have old Jock Vaughn that's going to be one of those guys that's going to be a great head coach one day. And I think this is the season we see a lot of that. I think we get 50 wins. We fuck around and get 45 to 50 wins this season, man. I think we a 500 ball club for sure. I see us 42 and 42 for sure. But I think we about 45, 50 wins this season, man. I'm going to take it there. I'm going to take it there, man. You gotta, go for the stars, land on the moon. Oh, BG says Simmons gonna be playing for the Sharks. Yo, stop doing that, man. Yo, chill out. BG says,
Y'all hate on Ben Simmons something
yeah, man.
crazy.
He always every stream, man. Yo, BG said Simmons not built for New York media. You see him, he ain't in there. He ain't chilling. He ain't over here
All
none
he
of the
gotta do is answer questions about basketball. Ben Simmons don't get in no trouble. He don't
right.
got no problems off the court. It's just
Mm-hmm.
basketball. If
That's a
he's
fact.
playing, if he's doing his job, if he's on the court, the media ain't gonna kill him. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody even asks him about shooting no more. And if the shit get too hard, that's what we got Jock for.
Yeah, facts. Chef Tay said he just got to block out the social media and fans, get his mental back right, and it'll be a straight killer out here, to be honest. Hey, look, I agree with Chef Tay. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chef Tay, dope in the comments. It'd have been great to hear your voice. Shout out to Chef Tay. But what I will say is to see a player on our team and then you're like, damn, he ain't do none of that. And then go look at his highlights with Philly. Yo, like, bro, he do any of that. We a top 14. We a top team in the NBA.
Yeah.
All facts. It
He fits more than Hero. And that's
mhm,
another one that will lose minutes if you get a Tyler Hero.
mhm.
Even if your plan is to move on from Ben Simmons, even if that's what Nets fans want, you can't move on from in his current state. He will get absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, nah,
I
I
don't
agree.
want that to be the path anyway. I want to see what he can do. If it work out, we in good great position. If it don't, then we can still try to move on later.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I didn't think he wanted. And this is just me. I might be overthinking it. I didn't think he really wanted to play with Katie and Kyrie.
Um, I think a lot was going on when he got here from the both organizations and dealing with Embiid and KD and Kyrie personality. It's just a bit much, you know what I mean? I think this is a more calm setting. He kind of like almost the OG. Spencer Dinwiddie, the OG, but again, it's not necessarily about a player and just how you fit in with the other players. It's about the team being led by the coach, and you get a lot of that in Jock Vaughn. So I think a strong-headed coach is a good team for Ben Simmons to be on, and that team is the Brooklyn Nets, man. I can't believe I'm saying this shit, man. Chef
I
Tay
think
said,
I, I think I made him grow on you.
yeah, nah. Again, just the whole way it is, far as when they drafted Tariq Whitehead, I said, nah, you got to stay with Ben Simmons if you're going to do that. You know what I mean? I didn't know they was going to draft Tariq Whitehead. I was trying to figure out who they would draft, and I honestly I missed on all three players. I was totally wrong. You know what I mean? But that being said, yeah, they drafted one player with injury, and they gonna nurse that injury, so they gotta stick with Ben Simmons out of pure good, you know, this is what our ball club is known for. Even if that's what the Brooklyn Nets are known for, giving players another chance. You know, they did it with T.J. Warren. He was coming off an injury. They did it with Ed Sumner. He was coming off an injury. Seth Curry was kind of known for that. Joe Harris, he went through a lot. Even Spencer Dinwiddie, but we gave up on him, and he went to Washington in that trade for Harden and all of that extra shit that happened. But case in point is the Brooklyn Nets are known for that. That's one of the things that
Shit,
it looked
D'Lo,
like D'Lo, him too.
D'Lo was done.
You know what I'm
Nobody,
saying?
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I think there's multiple ways, well, multiple times you can look and say, okay, the Brooklyn Nets, they do invest in players even if they have nursing injury. And I think they want to be known for a ball club that, you know, players could come here and you don't have to win immediately. We could build something together. So, you know, I think they're trying to change the narrative that they got from a Harden, KD, and Kyrie era. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it is. Hold on. Chef Tay says, but on some real shit, I'm not buying that mental health excuse. He's a multi-millionaire, pay for therapy and get back to the core, my boy. um,
but we got to remember too that these guys is human beings too. So
true. Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
we gotta be fair
Yeah.
when we everybody go through shit. You know what I mean? We can't
Yeah.
sit here and try to make it try to make it about what we want all the time. Yeah, all of us want to see guys on the
Mm,
court because we fans of the game.
right.
But at the end of the day, folk go through shit. You know what I mean? So it
Mm.
is what it is. We
Yeah. I feel like, you know, Haslam is a big part of Miami's success because he could keep guys level headed in heated moments. You know, moments where it might boil you over if Haslam is not there. I think that's why Marcus Smart went to the Grizzlies. You know, kind of stay close to John Morant. You know what I mean? Like keep knuckleheads away from him and show him how to play the other side of the ball at a high level. Because John Morant, for the most part, is known for his offense. But if you're going to have longevity in his career, you want to know both sides of the ball. You feel what I mean? Not to say John Morant defense is bad. You know, I could be tripping. You know, he could be.
no, it ain't good.
All right, well, you know, then that's another reason why. And he's just you need headstrong guys on your team. You know what I'm saying? You need guys on your team that's going to, you know, make sure that it stays sturdy. Like, yo, we gotta keep it together. You know what I'm saying? I think we get some of that with the Brooklyn Nets with McCall and Cam Johnson. I think them as a duo makes a lot of sense. It makes so much sense, and I think we're gonna be one of the top duos. And I kind of want to get into that with you real quick, Big Priest, before we go.
No
Just
doubt.
early prediction. Top. Do you how good do you think the duo of Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson could be?
Um,
Think about them as a duo.
I think I think they can be very good. You know, um, again, they both compete on the defensive end.
Salute, get in.
The only thing about them is Cam does kind of have a
Wow.
bit of an injury history. So, but he showed me that he can be a 17, 18 point per game scorer. He can put the ball on the floor. He can, get to the rim, get to the foul line, good free throw shooter.
Mm,
Um, I think the athleticism, Mikhail showed that if he's given the opportunity, the only bad thing is though,
mm,
is it hurt his defense with him having to be the number one option on offense. He still played good defense, but he
mm.
wasn't, you know, as as elite as I've seen him be. So, um, I I I think they can be damn in our
Barry said
as
top 10. I kinda want to agree with Barry, man. Top 10.
I
I
think they
just
can
out of
be
pure
top. I think they can be top 10 in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, word?
Because
Nah, you
you
gotta
gotta think
debate some
about
of
it.
that. So just give me your top five. Top three. You don't gotta go crazy. Give me your top three debate. I mean, I'm sorry, top three
Duos
duos. Yeah, in the league
in the
right now.
league.
Yeah, I mean, based on what you've seen last season up until now. I mean, Jamal Murray, Jokic.
And-
Talk to me.
Yeah,
Butler, Bam. Talk to me.
it'll probably be uh Murray and Jokic, it'll KD and Booker, um, and JT and
Off of
JB.
28 games in the playoffs, you give it to KD and Booker. I'm just saying you could. I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
but I think it's them because I mean I think Brian and AD, Brian old. I think AD is still great. Embiid, I don't know who his second person to be. I can't give it to Kawhi and PG because of health. Um, Steph don't really got a running mate.
I don't know, man. Just
I know it'll be JT and JB. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah, no, I get.
And I can't put Bam and Jimmy over Katie and Booker because even both teams lost to Denver, right?
Right.
One team lost in 6 games, one team lost in 5. So
See, that's what I'm saying, Big Priest. That's what I mean. Like, and I say it for argument's sake because I really think they're gonna be good. I think we're gonna get 20 points, 20 to 25 points from Cam Johnson. I think
I
he
can see
learned.
Cam getting up to 20, and
Yeah.
I think Mikhail's an all-star this year.
Okay. Yeah.
You
No.
know,
Me too. Me too. I think he
so
want to score. I think he want to be a 30-point scorer, man. I really do, man. I think that, and I get this from watching him, and he definitely, my thing is this: the defense that he played is essential, especially in the Eastern Conference, going versus teams like Boston, one of the better teams in the East, and they're going to be looking to spread the floor and make and shoot the three ball. And I feel like we got to be able to cover the floor to beat teams like that, and we do that with defense. And Mikal Bridges is one of the better perimeter defenders, and I don't want him to exert all his energy trying to score 30, 35 points a night and be trash on defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need him to make that still primary. Even if, so my thing is, if he could make the defense on the perimeter primary and give me 20 points a night, I'm happy with that. Instead of him not being just being good, I rather elite defense and 20 points and elite defense on the perimeter from Mikal Bridges and 20 points a night, opposed to him exerting more energy on the off, usage rate, opposed to him giving me 30 to 35, or like 20, 25 to 35 points a night, because he gonna want to be a 30-point scorer. I could see it in him, man. I could see him wanting to score 28, 29, something around there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need him to do that. We need him more on the perimeter than being the number one scorer. I don't think the Brooklyn Nets are successful if Mikal Bridges is our number one scorer. I need him to be number two, Mikal Bridge, and then CJ Twin. I need him to be number three, and I want
hmm
Cam Thomas or somebody else to be the number one scorer. And what I will say to that, Big Priest, is that when I did see the Brooklyn Nets winning, it wasn't like we needed a number one scorer. We just needed more scorers to be in double digits. So we might need Dinwiddie to score 15 points. We need Cam Thomas to score like 15, 20 points. We need Royce O'Neal to score 10 points. DFS score 10 points. So it's a a team effort. You feel what I'm saying? I think we need to attack like that, and that's why Dame Lillard is not good for our team. I like our roster, but I think the duo needs to work for us to win, though. I do, man. I think we need to be one
yeah,
of the top 10 duos between Mikal Bridges and and CJ for us to be a winning ball club, for real.
I do too.
More
I
shout
do
to.
too.
Yeah, talk to me. Talk to me.
I think they need. I think we need Cam John. I think he'll improve some more because again, he was what the fourth or fifth option, and matter of fact, he was coming off the bench at Phoenix. So just him getting that opportunity helped him grow. So excuse me. I think I, I can see him getting there. I hope you right. To be real with you, I hope you
What
right
we were talking about?
about
Like just the top duos for next
yeah
season,
them being top 10.
right?
That'll
Because
be
that
wonderful.
right, right. I think I won't say top five just yet. You know what I mean? I'll say top 10. This would be their first go at it for real, where they had that chemistry to say who get the ball when they high. See, that's another thing too. If you with a player that both of y'all hot at the same time, you know that you gonna find the best basketball there because they're gonna look for the best way to score the ball. If both of them hot, they could just look for the best way to score the ball, and that's who scored the basket that play. You know what I mean? Like I
No
like
doubt.
what we got going on. I'm honestly excited, and I like Jalen Wilson, man. I don't know if you've been catching the summer league games, Big Priest, but Jalen Wilson and DDJ is impressive. And player development wise, instead of making Clowney take a lot of three balls, they focus more on his defense in game two and game three. And his rebounding and everything he does don't show on the stat sheet, but it is if you did want to look at the one of those main stats he contributes to, it's the field goal percentage of the other's team. You know, he contests
Yeah,
a lot of shots. He make it difficult
yeah.
for you to score the ball. So, you know, he does that, and I like him for that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Shout out to Gideon. I see you say salute. Shout out to you, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Gideon Aman Kwa, right? I'm getting that right. That's right. Michael Porter, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, KCP, Bruce Brown, etc. Not only played amazing defense, they hit shots when it mattered the most. They talking about the title. You know, I was saying that KD he has said that offense win championships, and I had said he said that because of what happened with him and the Golden State Warriors. But then in the comments, he had made a lot of valid points about how Miami, you know, couldn't score the ball, and that was part of the reason why they lost. So it's worth a conversation, man. I'm gonna let you before we get to these new comments. I'm gonna let you have at it. But what do you feel, Big Priest, about championships and how they won? Is it more defense or more offense? Now you could give me a political answer, but I'm gonna be that. I'm stirring the pot. Choose either one. Is it more defense or more offense?
Depends on your roster. If you got Kobe and them, it's gonna be offense. But we saw a Detroit Pistons team without no heavy hitters offensively win a
True.
championship because of a great defense.
Ben Wallace.
So absolutely.
Hmm.
So it depends on your roster.
Hmm.
But we
That's true.
know if you don't play defense, you don't have a shot. When we was playing well in the playoffs when we had KD and them guys, it was because of our defensive improvement that we was able to compete in that playoff run, even though it only went to the second round. And
Yeah,
when
you
we
think it was the
play,
defense? I think it was the offense. I think that we were so efficient scoring the ball that if you miss, we made
but
you
during
miss.
that playoff run, that our defense had risen from being in the high to mid 20s
Okay.
to top 10 during that time we were in the defense or in the playoffs.
Okay.
So yeah, it depends on your roster.
Yeah.
If you got a top flight, or if you got Steph Curry in them, even the Warriors, they always had a great defense.
Yeah.
We've seen a Memphis team that didn't have offensive heavy hitters beat the Oklahoma, or not beat, but get to the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
So if you talking about if you talking about what it's going to take, it's going to be It's going to be you're going to need you're going to need defense. I think you need both
Yeah, of course you need
actually.
both. Yeah, I was just being that guy to try to mix it up, but of course you need both. I think that in the last championship that we seen with the Denver Nuggets, I could see why Kevin Durant might even say that, because they offense look
He's an
unstoppable.
offensive player, so
Yeah, yeah, and on top of that, the Miami Heat didn't score the ball, and Jimmy was part of the reason. Like he didn't show up big on the offensive side of the ball, and a lot of the offensive obligation in the finals. This the finals. A lot of office obligations supposed to be on Jimmy Butler scoring the ball, and he didn't show up. So you could, it is both, and people that say offense win championships, you could debate it like we doing now, but it's some validity to it. It does have some validity. I'm gonna get into these comments too. Chef Tay say, I just wish Simmons would not let all that talent go to waste. Agreed. Ken said defense win championships. Gideon say ignore the number. Okay. KD Ken said KD my guy, but he tripping. Um, we
KD know
talk,
you got to play D to win a championship. KD can't
look
fool
what
me.
Boston did. That's why the Boston got by us because the way they was playing defense on KD, couldn't score the ball. You know,
Absolutely, we know that, and KD know that. He's played this game long enough to know what it takes to win a championship. He
fact.
knows that if that Golden State team did not play defense, they would not have won. How about the Toronto team that they lost to was playing great defense?
Mm-hmm. Fact.
What has San Antonio been a staple of during their championship runs?
All facts. KD, that's a wild take. What I will say is he is some validity to it, but I think more times than not, you need defense. Even with the Bucks,
Absolutely.
you know, Drew Holiday. I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
he was saying,
Holiday, Lopez,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. You can see how they impacted winning with their defense. And what I will say is why I think defense win championships is because just the eye test, watching the game without the statistics, teams go on runs. You know what I mean? Teams go on runs. You look at the points, and even when it's a close game, it don't be always they go basket for basket. This team might have been up by 10, and then this team went on a 14-0 run, and then they kept it close for a little bit, and then they went on a run, and then that team went on a run, and then this team went on a run. You know what I mean? Like it switches up, and I'm saying that to say that the defense comes in when those droughts come in. That's how the runs come in. It's
Yeah.
not that this team is just going on a run. Nah, we put them on a defensive drought. That's what happened with the Brooklyn Nets too. We was putting teams on defensive droughts where they wanted to score the ball for 3, 4, 5 possessions, but we couldn't score neither because we didn't know what we was doing on the offensive side of the ball. It was Mikal Bridges like first time for real, like being that guy to score the ball, and he only got so many moves. You know what I mean? Like he ain't like a guy who was used to getting deep in his bag and just doing all type of stuff to get to the basket or score the ball. You know what I'm saying? But he had his 1-2. He got that midi. You know what I mean? He got some. He got some. He do got some moves in the bag. But at the end of the day, I feel like he working on it now, and we
Yeah, he
really
got to get. He's still getting better.
yeah, he's still getting better. I don't think he's going to be a top 5 scorer, but I do give him a top 10. I think Mikal Bridges is the top 10 scorer next season. What you think?
Um, I don't know. Them points is going up like crazy. You had what 5, 6 people average 30. So
Mm,
so
5, 6 people. Hell
yeah, cause you had Jason
yes,
Tatum,
that
you
shit was
had
crazy.
Shea, you
Word.
had Embiid, you had Luca, you had
Mm-hmm.
I mean
KD.
you had a lot of goddamn people. So
Right. Yeah. No.
so
Last year was crazy. That shit is true. That was yeah. Yeah.
so if Mikhail can average what he did when he got to us, which was like 27, he can be. I say because I don't know how everybody gonna do. So I say top 15 in scoring.
Word.
But I don't need him. I think I don't need him to be a top 5 scorer or something like that. If we have balance,
Yeah.
because if we have 6, 7 people at double figures,
Nah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
think we're good.
Yeah, I'm on that
Shit,
same.
Joker only averaged 24.
Right. I'm the same way. I feel like we don't need no one or two players dominating the scoring. We need multiple scorers, and that's where our strength is. Even when I look at the ABA championship team, and I looked at their roster, and you see like 5, 6 players, maybe 7 players had double digits scoring, like
Yeah,
10, like 10 wins. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out to you, Big Priest. I'm about to call it a night. It's late. It's after 2. But again, man, you keep the panel on fuego, man. When I wasn't here, y'all was holding it down. You and Leaf, shout to you, shout to Chef Tay. You didn't get to say anything on the panel for whatever, but you stayed with us and you in the chat. And you know what I'm saying? You the last comment of the night, man. Shout out to you. That's a win right there. You know what I mean?
no doubt. And like I say, I want to help. I'm gonna always try to support your shit, Breezy. Big
For
respect. Being a Nets fan, trying to build up this platform,
this
bring more
culture too,
attention
man. Yeah.
to Brooklyn and what they trying to do over there. So shout out to you, man, and you can't have Big Tone growing and you not growing, man. We gotta get Brooklyn on the map too.
Yeah, nah,
And
shout out to
and
Big
and
Tone, man.
and then appreciation to you. I mean, spreading that Nets message around the other channels.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, man. I always
No
show
doubt.
love to other channels, man, especially open sports talk channels. You know what I mean? I go over there and I drop my little one too, because I know he be talking spicy. I just be tapping in. He be like, in those fucking Brooklyn Nets. I be like, God damn, I just got here. So it's always fun tapping in with Tone, man. Shout to him. I tune in with him all the time. Shout out to Big Priest, man, and shout out to Chef Tay, and shout out to Gideon, like, share, comment, subscribe. Shout out to Barry, always trolling Ben Simmons, but that's my guy. Shout
I
to
think Ben Simmons gonna surprise him this year, yo.
Yeah, I think so too. You know what I'm saying? I'll be looking for Barry after every game. Word. Where
No
you at?
doubt.
Shout to Reggie. I cook. Shout to Bob. Shout to Leaf. He was here earlier. And man, listen, Nets fans is the best fans. I'll be back after tomorrow night's game. Peace, y'all.
All right, peace.
Big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog.
B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N-B-R-O-O-K